the major factor that affects people's mental health is the environment where they are born. It could let's not even talk about genetic factors. Those ones are sometimes beyond our control. And then your experiences in life. Exposing ourselves to fun too early also affects our mental health. My parents cannot give me exactly what I want. My partner cannot give me exactly what I want. But there are promises in the Bible that makes you feel like you have these
Complete.
things. I've loved you with an everlasting love. I will never leave you or forsake you.
Ah,
Right from the day of your conception, I've known
known
you
you.
and I will take care of you till your hair is gray. And imagine that we embrace all of these promises and we live one day at a time.
As we all know, health is wealth. It is very, very important when it comes to human existence and we achieving our goals as human beings. Of course, if you're not healthy, you cannot be productive. You cannot go about your daily activities. You cannot be successful. Yes, you cannot be successful. My name is Boma Green. This is Tipok TV. The title of this program today is Health Hustle. Join us as we conquer wellness one episode at a time. On this show, we are going to be telling you about health in general, uncovering different measures you could take about your health. You could do things you could do to stay healthy as a human being, which is very, very important. Joining me for the very first time is my beautiful guest. She's going to be telling us much more that we don't know about health and the topic we are going to be talking about today. She has carved a niche for herself. She has different degrees attached to her name. She is an occupational health specialist and also she's a passionate mental. When I say passionate, she is a passionate mental health enthusiast. She has been on different platforms doing what she knows how to do best. Please make welcome Ms Prisca Obi. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
How are
Thank
you
you.
doing?
I'm very well. Thank you. How
Is this?
about you?
I'm fine. I'm good. Is this just how you look beautiful every day, or this is the attribute that comes with you being a mental health activist?
I became very, very intentional about my look since I knew that how I dress affects how I feel. So I became more conscious and consciously trying to look good to feel good.
Wow, no wonder you're going to be sharing your beauty tips with us. So, ma, would want to know. It has been of interest for me to know what made you, even as broad as health is, you chose mental health. What really really interested you to go into this aspect of health?
Okay, before we even go to mental health, I think it's really, really important that we get to know what health is in the first place.
Okay.
And that's because when we talk about health, people think health is just all about your ability to move around.
Yeah.
Some persons will say, if you're able to walk around, do whatever they want to do, then you're healthy. But no, there are several definitions of of health.
Okay.
A financial analyst will tell you money is wealth, money is
Yes.
health. If you don't have money, then you're sick. A
Yes.
social health person will tell you if you're not able to build meaningful relationships, then you're not healthy. So health is broad and is holistic in nature. So I will just start by defining health with a general definition that was given to us by World Health Organization in
Okay.
1948 after several arguments of what health is. They defined health as a state of complete physical, mental, financial. Recently, they added spiritual,
Spiritual.
social well being of an individual
Wow.
and not merely the absence of diseases and infirmities. So, for you to say you're healthy, you must be physically fit. Not just physically fit, you must have social health. That means building relationships,
Relationship.
not just being friends with everybody, but building quality relationships, people
Stable.
you can rely on, people you can call in the midnight and say, I had a very scary dream. Can you please pray for me?
Yeah.
And then you must have financial health. Like you must be able to create something that will give you money,
Money.
because without money,
I
like we
mean,
won't be here, right?
exactly.
And then you must have something you believe in. I'm a Christian, so but there must be something you believe in, because that is where our strength comes
Comes
from. That
from.
is where we draw our power. When you're lonely, when your spouse is not there, when your family members are not there, on your own, you must have something you pray to. And so health is holistic. And for you to say you're a healthy person, you must carry your physical health along. You must carry
Yes.
your social health along. along. You must carry your financial health along. You must carry your mental health along too. You
Alongside.
must also carry your spiritual health along. And we only think of the physicality, but without the internal, the external cannot exist.
Yes.
So health is really, really broad. And I won't call it a state, it's a process. So as you move about your life, you try to see how you can gather everything together for you to have a full and better life.
Okay, thank you very much for that answer.
Yeah.
I think that answers the question I wanted to like throw at you
Okay.
next. Okay, our topic for discussion today is specifically mental health and what it's all about. So, as a professional that you are, we would like you to give us like a complete definition, because randomly you could ask somebody, what is mental health? They will say,
Yeah.
okay, somebody, if somebody is running mad, that means the person is not mentally stable. Does that really imply that it's only when somebody is crazy, like out of his mind, that's when
Yeah.
the person is not mentally stable? Or you just give us a proper definition of
Um,
what health, mental health is.
Okay, so my first degree was on education. And so when people, over time, I've learned to accept people's definition. If you say this is what you define something as, I say,
As
cool, if that's what you're defining it as, that's fine.
okay,
But then because the World Health Organization, we are under them. So whatever definition they
they
take,
give.
that is what we have to also rely on. They also defined mental health. Though generally people think mental health is just, people say, I want to protect my mental health. I don't want this, I don't want
Yeah,
dramas. My mental health is
it's
really
very
important to me.
important.
But then they came to a conclusion that, yeah, mental health is about how you feel, how you
Okay.
think, and how you act. It's basically a state where an individual has the ability to realize who he or she is.
Okay.
For you to say a mentally healthy person, you must have the ability to know who you are. You must also have the ability to know your weaknesses and your strengths, and then to cope with the normal stresses of life, and finally to contribute meaningfully to the society.
Mm.
So, for you to say you're a mentally healthy person, you must know your weaknesses and your strengths. You must have the ability to cope with the normal stresses of life. Even the Bible said there will be stress.
Yes,
So, as a
definitely.
mentally healthy person, or for you to say that you have a healthy mental health, when you have challenges, you must have the strength to cope with it, not running away from
From
it.
them.
But here, most, in fact, all over the world, people try to run away from challenges.
Yes.
But what makes you a mentally healthy person is your ability to cope with the normal stresses of life, and then your ability to know who you are and contribute meaningfully to the society. And so people only limit mental health to depression and
Right.
anxiety, or maybe when they serve them breakfast, they'll be like, my mental health is ruined and all of
Yeah.
that. But your ability to cope with all those stresses of life and then contribute meaningfully to the society, that is what mental health entails. So it's not just about how you feel
Feel.
alone, but about your contribution to the society and about how you see yourself.
I think I'm learning a lot from this. Okay, so we want to also know these factors that could contribute to mental health problems, because I mean, just like every other sickness and illness, these mental health issues and problems, they come with signs. So
Yeah.
we would want to know, what are the signs, what are things to look out for to know that this person is losing it at some point or is having mental health problems.
Okay, I think before I even go to the signs, it's important we know the factors that
Okay.
could predispose one to mental health issues. I struggle with low self-esteem, insecurity, and identity crisis as a
Wow.
teenager. I felt I was ugly. Yeah, someone said I was ugly. I had a big head, and
Oh my god.
like, so the conversation, what one person said in, I think I was in secondary school, 2007, 2008, made I still struggle with it. Like even
Yeah,
up till
till
now,
now.
I have to become so conscious as not to look back to something someone said to
Said.
me. And so there are several factors that could trigger someone's mental health or
Okay.
that could lead to mental health issues. First, environment.
Yes.
There is something called the law of nature and nurture. You are born, and John Locke said every child is born innocent and empty,
Yes.
without preconceived idea or knowledge. When I was born, I didn't know anything. I didn't know
Yes.
any religion. I didn't know any
Eh,
culture. But I was born without preconceived idea or knowledge. But the environment where I was born would determine what my life will be like, how my mental health. In fact, the place I was born, first of all, will first affect how my mental health will be like. And so, the major factor that affects people's mental health is the environment where they are born.
Yeah.
It could let's not even talk about genetic factors. Those ones are sometimes beyond our control, but the
Yes.
environment where people are born, I can be I know there are instances of two persons who were born by parents who are drunkards. Maybe one
Yes.
one will be taken out of that environment, and you realize that the person who was taken out of that environment became better than the person that
That
stayed in that
stayed in that
environment. So I
environment.
think the number one thing that affects people's mental health is the environment.
Environment.
Yeah, first of all. And then your experiences in life, you know. I was a very happy child, like very, very happy. In my nursery and second in my nursery and primary school. This is not jokes. I took first and second. Like, I even had a friend when
Wow.
she wanted to change from secondary school. I say, from our primary school, I said, Charity, please don't go. I want to stay. You will take first, so that I will take
Take second.
second. So that conversation never went up my head.
Yeah.
But when I they sent me to a boarding school, I took last.
Oh my God.
And that's because someone said I was ugly.
So you,
Like, our
you
first week in school, she looked at me and said, "You're a very ugly girl. And
oh
your
my
head is big. Your eyes." Like, she said, my head is big. My eyes are very, she started calling me Ayabusu. Like,
serious.
so I still struggle to I squint my eyes sometimes because that conversation. So I was actually born in a very good environment,
Yes.
and then I was sent to a boarding
Which
school,
changed a lot of
which changed
things.
a lot of things. And so your experiences in life, you could actually be born in a very healthy environment, but then your experiences and interactions with people
People.
could alter your life and make you
Yes.
struggle with several things that could affect you for life. If
Yes.
not that I made conscious efforts. That was when I went to university, or like maybe my third year. I was still carrying the conversation.
Vision.
Someone told me my JSS one
That
when I was
you're
like
ugly.
11 years that was ugly, and it affected me in class. I took last. In fact, I had to struggle again to start learning how to read. I couldn't spell again
Hmm.
because even in class, I'll be thinking about what this girl said. I will go to dining. I'm looking at the shape of
Hmm.
my head. In
Self
fact,
confidence
I
was
started wearing
built.
berets because I couldn't think of any other thing again.
Oh my
I
God.
wore beret from my JSS 1 to SS 3 just because of one thing one person said.
Oh
And so
my
you could
God.
be raised in a good environment, and then your interaction with people will not alter your mental health.
Mental
So
health.
I've mentioned two things. I've mentioned your environment
Environment
and then
and
your experiences in
experiences.
life, and then people losing loved ones. I know of a friend
Yes.
who lost her dad. Till today, no matter what you tell her, like, she has not recovered from the fact that she lost her
The
dad.
dad.
Her dad was like everything to her.
Wow.
And because she lost her mom at a very early age, then lost her dad while you were in university. So the loss of a loved one could put you in a place where you cannot easily come back, because the fear of facing life without this
This
person
person.
becomes scary. And
Yes.
then we all know breakfast, like some relationships could deal with you. Like, when someone
Yes.
breaks up with you, you begin to question yourself, am I bad, am I
But
not good enough, and
yes.
all of that. So generally, your environment, your experiences in life, some genetic factors, there are several researches that have shown that there are some drugs mothers consume during their pregnancy that could affect the child. And then war, those people who are in countries where they are fighting, their mental health is already messed up, so it's going to
Yes.
take a lot of time
Time for
to
them to
get the
recover.
and then drugs and alcohol. There are some drugs, mental health, or drugs that affect your mental health. So
Yes.
if you constantly consume those mentally deteriorating drugs, your mental health state will
You.
actually be affected. Yeah.
Yes.
You know Justin Bieber, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I know the psychiatrist that followed the case of Justin Bieber. If you've been following him for some time, you realize that they said his dopamine was reduced.
Hmm.
That was why he had facial paralysis.
Hmm.
He couldn't smile again because from a very early age he was having fun, and all the fun he had in this life, he got older, there was nothing exciting to him again.
Yes.
And so his mental health got affected, and they found out that because he was exposed to fame at a very early age,
Early age.
he started having fun at a very
Very
early
early
age.
age.
The money our parents could use 20, 30 years to work, A 14 years, 15 years old boy already has
Or
it.
already had it in his
So
account.
so it's more like, what else am I doing?
Doing
Like, so he needed the next exciting moment. He was always in search of the next exciting
because
moment.
he more like he has explored every other
That's
thing.
so, what's fun again?
Yes.
And so exposing ourselves to fun too early also affect our mental health. Exposing ourselves to fame too early also affects our mental health. So a lot, like a lot.
Wow. You definitely need to be learning a lot from this. I mean, hearing from the horse's mouth, you could tell, you could want to check yourself and know if you are in one of this, one of these categories. Either change your environment, do a lot of things for you to be mentally stable. Furthermore, we would want to ask another question. Why do you think it's important for people to be mentally aware? Because some persons will argue that, I mean, leave that thing now. We are just hustling. We are just trying to make ends meet. So let's just go about our daily activities without even, knowing the importance of this thing. So what would you say are the important things to look out for? Or why is it important for people to be mentally aware?
Okay, so like I said, health is holistic in nature.
Yes.
If you choose to leave one and chase one, you will come back to look for the other.
Yes, and
It's
it
more
might be
like,
too late.
yeah, I might be too late. And that's why I see people say, "Eh, let me find money first before I find love, or I don't need friends. It's more, I'm after the bag." And
Yes.
most times you secure the bag and you
And
see
then
that you've lost your
a lot of
friends.
things, yes.
And man, what's the
No
bag without
relationship,
fun? What's the bag without friends?
people,
Even though you have the money today and you travel to, maybe you go to Dubai, you still need to interact with people.
people,
Is the presence? I grew up in a very, very large family, and I bet you, I don't think I can trade them for anything. I don't even
definitely.
think I can trade my friends for any
Money.
amount of money, because there was a point I got depressed when I had a very good amount of money in my account.
Mm,
And so it's not even just about having all of these things we think we are seeking for, but
yes.
your ability to, one day at a time, carry both your mental health, carry both your social health, carry both your financial well-being. I'm not telling you not to build relationships. I'm not telling you not to secure the bag. I'm not, like I said, mental health is your ability to contribute meaningfully
Fully to the
into your
society.
society and also your immediate community. What are you going to contribute? You could decide to teach them something you've learned. You could decide to learn a skill. And why maybe it could be to make hair. As you're making the hair, you're gisting with your customer, you're contributing to society. The
Yes.
person who I bought this hair from, who wigged it, is a skill she had. And so our normal interactions with human beings, that is what makes life full. And so mental health, just as your financial health, is also important.
Important.
And what does mental health entails? How I feel. Am I sacrificing, or am self-neglecting? There's a thin line between sacrifice and self-neglect.
Self-neglecting.
So you feel like, you're doing some, let me just, I'm a good, they say we should give, and you're giving of yourself without coming home to know
To
that,
know that.
why am I giving this?
Yes.
And like I said, okay, I'm not sure I've mentioned it here. I used to be a people pleaser.
Mm,
There's a thin line between being a people pleaser and being a kind person. People pleasing, you're seeking for validation. You're
yes.
giving so that you'll be liked. You're giving
Yes.
so that they will say that you're a very good
Good
girl.
person.
So that is what I used to do before. I'll be treat people so nicely, give them my, oh, you want, okay, take. They will come to my hostel and eat. I say, take, eat. I don't have. But when they go, I'll be like, Kai, I would have not given this to you. I needed it.
This.
Or I'll borrow all the money I have in my account so that they will say that Prisca is a
Good
go-to person.
person.
But when I realized that, I was actually neglecting myself.
Myself.
I'll become stressed. And the moment you're stressed, your brain is releasing stressful chemicals that will in turn affect you.
Yeah, definitely.
And so why would you not pay attention to how you feel? When you're giving somebody, okay, someone cannot just immediately call you, I need money. You can say, okay, hold on, I will get back to you on
Okay.
this. Just hold on, I'll get back to you on this. And then you come back and say, okay, how much can I give to this person?
Think about it.
Think about it, like, not just decide to give.
Give,
Because most
yes.
times sometimes we are impulsive givers, not
Yes.
knowing that it's coming from a place of seeking for validation,
Validation.
or trying to impress, so that they will like me or call me that, this girl a better girl.
Mm,
But then we have to be conscious. But it's only the aspect of mental health that makes you come back to that consciousness, come home to yourself. This thing I'm doing, how do I feel about it? This person I'm dating, how do I feel about him? Am I just dating him because I want a relationship because I want to do TikTok. But
Trend.
I want to do TikTok, or I want to do
Challenges,
pepper them.
yes.
You know, that kind of a thing. Or do I really, really want to
Like this
contribute into
person.
this person's life? Because
Yes.
as I am now, the reason why I've not gotten married to some persons who are proposing to marry me is because I've asked myself, can I really serve them? Can I really
Yes.
be of value to this person? I
Yes.
cannot. There are some persons I can't choose to marry because I've looked at, not that they are bad, but I can't serve you. I can't submit to you. So why would I marry somebody I won't submit to? And that's because of mental health. Because by serving, by giving of yourself, you feel full, you feel
It's
satisfied,
fine.
you feel like you're really living the life. Because on
Yes.
your own, whatever knowledge, whatever skill you have, you cannot use them. You have to use to serve somebody. And so the importance of mental health makes you aware, it makes you conscious, it makes you live a full life. Because without feelings, like, man, nothing is real. If you're not able to feel whatever thing you're doing, your brain will not release happy chemicals, because what the brain actually understands is feelings. And so
Yes.
without the feelings, your brain will be able to release those happy, exciting chemicals. So with the help of mental health, you become self-aware, you become conscious, you become confident and say, "Ah, I'm sorry, I can't give this to you. I would really
Yes.
love to, but at this
But
point, I'm not sure I can."
mm,
So mental health is like is life. Is
yeah.
life, like is life itself. Is
Wow.
the center of every other aspect of health for me. I
Yes.
feel mental health is the center of every other aspect of health.
So you see why mental health is very, very, very important. Okay, considering the economy of this country as a Nigerian, considering the fact that the economy is going like left, right, center, how can one be mentally healthy? Even in this state, even in this economy, even with all of this financial crisis going on up and down. Okay, answering from a Nigerian and also a health specialist.
And also a child of God. You need to add that one. Okay, so I actually have a contrary opinion
Okay.
to all the whole drama happening in Nigeria. First of all, I'm eating free food. So I may not really, really be the appropriate person to
To
ask this
ask.
question because, guy, like, I'm still living in the family house.
Okay.
I'm eating free food. I don't have really any money I'm working out either to invest or take care of myself.
Yourself.
So I may not really be like the very right person to ask this question. But however, I've tried not to really ask my parents for money for some time. I've tried to totally just make some very big moves
Yeah.
and see what is going to happen.
Yes.
I found out that I had a contrary opinion. 5 years ago, so many of us we are not married. 5 years ago, so many of us don't have kids.
Yeah,
5 years
exactly.
ago, so many of us have not left our family house. So you're growing older, more responsibilities are coming.
Coming.
So I really don't think anything changed because my grandpa said he bought his old car, one of his first car, 10 naira. My
No.
grandpa is still alive, yeah. So I just think even then in the 90s, in the 80s, things were hard.
Yeah.
So I just think as we are growing up, responsibility is meeting us, and things will keep getting harder because
And
we are
yeah.
growing, we
And
are
we still
having
need to
more
meet up these
responsibilities. Yeah,
responsibilities.
now trying to check out apartments, I'm seeing small apartments, 700K, 800K,
Yes.
1.5 million. You know,
Crazy.
but when I was in secondary school, like my younger brother doesn't even know what the economy is talking about. Even if you're telling him that the economy is going haywire, he will still
It's
say,
not it's none
no,
of his
no, Auntie
business.
P, buy me pin pop. Like, because he doesn't care, you know.
Yes.
So I feel that we are all growing up. More responsibilities are coming, and we can't really change all of these things. The question should be, if you see the last part of mental health, your ability to contribute meaningfully to the society, to yourself too. What can I do to better my life?
Yeah.
Yes, I know the economy is hard on some persons. I'm not in doubt. But I still know that there are some persons who are buying cars.
Yes.
I know of a
Doing
guy
well.
who bought a car last month, a car of 100 million. He's
Yes.
just 27
I
and he's
mean,
doing a legit job, something he learned when he was like 18, 19. And over time, is paying off,
yeah.
right? So, why you're bothering of 500K? Another person's problem could be 100 million. Another person's
Exactly.
problem could be
500
500
million.
billion. Yeah, so we just have levels to this stress. But however, your ability to cope with the normal stresses of life. I'm a born again, right? And most times when I'm very, very overwhelmed, there are lots of promises in the Bible,
Yes, that
and
is
I
good.
confess those words to myself. Because my parents cannot give me exactly what I want. My partner cannot give me exactly what I want.
Yeah.
But there are promises in the Bible that makes you feel like you have these things.
Complete.
I've loved you with an everlasting love. I will never leave you or forsake you.
Ah,
Right from the day of your conception, I've known
known
you and
you.
I will take care of you till your hair is gray. And imagine that we embrace all of these promises and we live one day at a time.
Time.
Everything on social media is not real.
Let's just say 80 or 90% of everything you see on social media
So
is not real.
I see I use social media as a source of motivation though, but I shall know that there was a day I was really crying. I just took one, I posted one picture. I had chicken. I was eating, I love moi chicken and salad. It's one of my favorite food and it's prepared by
Okay.
Drevnik. So I posted the picture. I was actually craving for that. And I posted the picture on Facebook while I was actually on my bed crying.
Crying
And people are like, Prisca, you're chopping live.
live
And and nobody knew that I was actually on my
behind
bed.
the
Like,
scene. Everything is not okay.
so, but I think we must come home to ourselves, like, whether it's true or not, whether people are living the full life or not, we must understand that we live in a world of infinite possibilities. And except you come home to yourself and live one day at a time, like one day at a time. If you have the basic things of life, like food, water, clothes, a roof under your head, live one day at a time.
Yes.
Like one day, even
Whereas
though
pushing your
you
dream
get,
and
even if I move out of my family house today, I still tell my friends, yes, I will be stressed, but I'm not sure I'm going to compare my life to any other person or a girl who is living in Lekki in her
yes.
own house. And that's because whatever money I have in my account today is the amount of efforts I've put in.
Yes.
And so we must come home to ourselves and tell ourselves the truth. Whatever money you have in your account today is as a result of what you've put in. Success cannot be faked. If
Yes.
you pretend like say you get money, but if you come home to yourself, you know that
Tell
you're not
yourself the
putting in the
truth.
real work.
Yes.
I have a presentation on Saturday. I've not taken a good look at the work. So if I go on Saturday and fumble, I should not blame my village people or blame
Yes.
the fact that the event is too close. I have to blame myself
So
that man, I didn't prepare so well. And if we can constantly and honestly tell ourselves the truth, we know that we'll be happy. But we are all living in Dululu, thinking that it's Olulu. But then,
yes.
except you come home to yourself, you can't have a full life. And we all have to come home to ourselves, tell ourselves the truth, and live one day at a time. Like,
Wow, if there's anything I've learned today, I've learned that mental health is for you to contribute to your society, be of that, have that purpose for life, have that purpose for life. And then I've also learned that you need to live one day at a time, coming from a place of contentment, because if you're
yeah,
not contented, you cannot do that. Definitely, you cannot do that. So
yeah.
thank you very much, Ma. Before we call it a wrap, we would like you to drop your handles, yeah, so in case any of our audience or people want to reach out to you, they could easily reach out to you.
I'm Prisca Obi. I really don't like to. My own is not even Obi. I'm Prisca Obi. Like I love,
Obi.
yes, I
Okay.
love to be called Obi because mine is heart. So I'm
Okay.
Prisca Obi on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm not on Twitter. Like I don't understand that app. I
Um,
just took it out of my
me
phone.
too. Me
Yeah.
too.
So I'm Prisca Obi on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, those are just the three social. Yeah, and LinkedIn. Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do well to reach out to her in case you would want her help in any way or the other. We are going to be calling it a wrap. It has been a beautiful conversation with you, Ma. Thank you for doing this with us.
Thank
Thank you so much
you.
for we really I really appreciate this, and we are not going to take it for granted. Thank you so much. So until we come your way next time, this is Tipok TV. Please do well to explore on our channels. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Do well to follow us on all platforms, and do well to hit that subscribe button. See you next time. Bye.